Hey everyone, Nick here and welcome back to GamerTube. And welcome to our Five Nights at Freddy's character concept series. And for today's character, we're looking into Lester the Lizard. So for anyone who's new to the channel, what we do in these videos is we make our own character in a specific video game franchise, and we give them the backstory, go through their gameplay mechanics, and all that good stuff as well. Also, I will just state that I'm not the biggest FNAF expert, and also everything we say or tell in these videos isn't really canon, it's just a fun, cool story that we get to tell and we hope you enjoy. Nor do we expect FNAF to really include these characters in their games as well. Also, just another side note that this won't be replacing our Little Nightmares character concept series. We are still making those videos, and there's a couple coming out soon, so keep an eye out for that. So before we start today's video, if you could please consider leaving a like and commenting, as it helps out a lot and it's greatly appreciated. Also, do be sure to subscribe to GamerTube so you don't miss out on these future videos. Alrighty, well, let's take a look at this twisted animatronic character, Lester the Lizard. So, before we dive into our character bio of Lester the Lizard, let's first look at their dark and disturbing history as a Freddy Fazbear Entertainment animatronic. So, Lester Lizard was a specialty character from the Freddy Fazbear's Jungle Party themed restaurant. The Jungle Party was a limited time theme that the Freddy Fazbear Pizzeria ran for several months. It was unclear exactly what year Freddy's had this jungle theme and how long they ran it for. But it featured a number of different jungle animal characters, including Lester the Lizard. Lester was modelled after an iguana and was originally meant to be named Indy the Iguana. But the engineers and the heads at Fazbear Entertainment thought that most young children wouldn't even know what an iguana is, so they instead settled on Lester the Lizard. As for Lester's character traits and role up on stage, he was the drummer in the Fazbear Jungle Party band. He would hold two oversized drumsticks and stand in front of a set of drums. Lester would also occasionally sing with his large jaws opening and closing. Compared to his other puppet pals, Lester was one of the more goofier characters. He also had a number of catchphrases such as,
"Let's get loopy with Lester!"
And also when the food was getting served, he'd say,
"Lester loves lunchtime!"
Sometimes Lester's voice box would malfunction and frighten some of the children.
"Let's get
loopy with lunchtime! 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 Lester! Lunchtime!"
So Lester's appearance before he was discontinued was that of a friendly green reptile. His main body, arms and legs were made of a fuzzy material that contained soft stuffing. Underneath all the soft padding was of course their cold metal endoskeleton. Their head and tail was also made of a dense foam rubber. As for their teeth, they too were seemingly harmless, being made of a flexible rubber vinyl. Over time, wear and tear got the best of Lester. They began to look much more sinister and act out of character. Their soft material arms and body started to tear and become awfully stained due to oil leaks from their metal joints. They also got extremely dirty and stained from all the spilt soda and food from all the children who got too close to them. The material on one of their arms started to rip so much it revealed their twisted metal skeleton. They also got multiple rips on their body, revealing the stuffing and some live wires. After a while, Lester had to be decommissioned on account of his frightening appearance and more specifically the incident that took place. Now and then, the misbehaving children who would attend the Freddy Fazbear Jungle Party used to stick their arms inside of Lester's mouth as a dare. As the animatronic lizards sang their jolly tunes, their mouth would open and close. The kids felt no pain as the flexible rubber teeth lightly pressed down on their arms. But once again, over time with wear and tear, Lester's rubber teeth began to harden and become much more tougher. Their spare teeth from their endoskeleton began to pierce through their fabric mouth and reveal themselves. The engineers didn't really remember giving Lester any spare teeth in the first place. But nonetheless, there they were, and there were plenty of them. On one tragic day, a misbehaving child stuck their arm inside Lester's mouth as a dare. When all of a sudden, Lester's jaw slammed shut. The Lester Lizard animatronic was having a critical malfunction, and all the Fazbear employees tried to desperately open his jaws. But they stayed clamped shut on the poor child's arm. The employees had to evacuate the pizzeria and shut off power to the whole facility. Ambulances arrived on the scene and they managed to free the poor child. Fazbear Entertainment decided to retire Lester to ensure another tragic accident like this could never happen again. And that was the last anyone ever saw of Lester the Lizard. So now that we've gone through Lester's story, let's go through a couple of their gameplay mechanics and how they would act if they were really in a FNAF game. So the gameplay I'll be basing this character in would be the classic FNAF 1 gameplay loop of observation and management. The player would be watching the monitors whilst also managing the doors and stopping these sinister machines from attacking them. Now there would be other characters involved in this gameplay, but for now you'll only see Lester and will only be concentrating on what he'll be doing throughout. So Lester's starting location would be the maintenance room where all the other defective animatronics go to weather away and collect dust. On the other screens, Lester can be seen in multiple other locations. He can be seen up on stage standing there with his jaw slightly opening and closing. He can also be seen walking around the kitchen area. And on camera 4, from time to time, he'll get extremely close to the camera and sometimes move his twisted looking eye. Back in the surveillance room with the player, Lester has the ability to appear both from the left and right doorways. Lester would have distinct sound effects to let the player know they were approaching or they were outside the door. The player would have to listen out for Lester's loud robotic footsteps as they get closer and closer. Another noise that Lester would make would be a disturbing animatronic hiss. This hissing sound would be a product of their defective voice box, but ironically it would actually sound like a real hissing lizard. The player would be able to hear this sound and realise Lester was just outside the door. When their hissing stops, they know it's safe to open the door once more. If the player isn't careful and doesn't take notice of Lester, they will get attacked with a classic FNAF jump scare. Everything would fade to black as the game over screen would pop up and the player would have to start all over again. Now I feel like Lester would be a great FNAF character and could definitely offer a whole bunch of jump scares to the player. Alrighty everyone, well that's all we have for today's video. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please consider leaving a like and subscribing as it helps out a lot and it's greatly appreciated. And also do be sure to comment down below what you thought of today's video, and also what other characters you'd like to see going forward in the world of FNAF. Alrighty, well until the next video, I'll catch you later, bye.